Welcome to another episode of One Question, where here at Open Doors, we ask many musicians the same question and then compile their answers together. We've talked to these artists about many aspects of performance, but after all we've talked about, from performance anxiety to collaboration, we just have one question. How do you feel after you get off the stage?
Good. I feel good. Feel relieved, of course.
If I did a good job, good.
Oh, I love the way I feel after I get off the stage, unless I really screwed up. And then it's like, oh goodness, I'm embarrassed and I want to get out of here.
Sometimes I feel really great. I mean, I feel good playing in front of people. I do in my own way.
I always feel really good after. A lot of the time, it's like breathing again. It's like, it's over, everything's fine. It's good, we did good.
Great. It's like the most, one of the most wonderful things I can imagine doing is performing. So it just makes me feel awesome.
Even though it's over and you don't feel that like rush of doing it anymore, you get the rush of, I just did that and that was so fun, and you can ride that wave for sometimes a good 3 hours before you actually feel tired.
It depends. Depends on the show, on how the show went.
Again, it's different every time. It depends. Sometimes I'm super relieved.
No matter how it goes, at the end of a night, I feel pleased. More pleased some nights over others, when they go really well. But no matter what, even if you've had a wonky night, it feels good. It feels really good to express yourself in front of people.
Usually I feel really proud of myself, and if I didn't do the best that I could have, I try and think about the good parts, and then I'll think about the bad parts later when I go home, and I'll fix them next time I go out.
People are pretty supportive, like we're lucky here. We've got a supportive musical community, so I usually get, people will say, oh, I enjoyed that or whatever. So it's a relief to get it over with sometimes.
Before you go on, you're nervous and you're like, I don't want to do this. And then you get off the stage and then you're like, I want to do it again. That's the paradox, I think.
Mostly, I kind of want to hide. I want to put my stuff away and just run out of the venue and hide for 15 minutes and then come back. Because I need some sort of, I need to recollect myself. That's how I feel. I feel like hiding.
It's a little bit of confidence, but also you're just glad it's over.
There's a lot of time where I go up with so much anxiety, or I'm having, a weird day, and I'm always surprised every time it happens. Even though it happens often, that I'll get off and I'll just feel so relieved. Like I just ran a marathon and I just feel great. There's a high that comes after a lot of the time, for sure.
Not so much lately, but in the past, definitely I've gotten off the stage and been extremely nervous, and then start thinking about my performance and, I made this mistake, I made that mistake, and worrying about what people will think. But I guess I'm in my 30s. I'm a little more confident in myself, and I'm just trying to focus on the reason I'm doing it rather than being perfect.
I feel really stoked after a gig. That's another high five moment.
Just content, just euphoric, in a good mood.
And you can see who's eating it up. There's always going to be someone who's a little disengaged, or many, but it's so important to spot the ones that are engaged, and you get so much feedback from that. Your plate's full at the end of a night, no matter how you think you've performed. If you pay attention, everyone gets something from what you've done.
If it's a great room, I feel wonderful after it's over. And then in some shows, if it's really loud room and I just suffered through it, I feel either grateful that I got paid for a rehearsal, or I feel oh man, what a slog, I can't believe I'm still doing this sort of thing. So it depends on the gig, but if the room is good, I'm usually
felt with a sense of comfort.
Sometimes, depending on the crowd's reaction and on the feel that was on stage with the rest of the performers, I've already gotten off stage crying because, you know, the show was over and it was so great, the crowd was great. But I've gotten off stage, you know, frustrated because something went off that night or whatever. So it really depends on how the show goes. And it's different every night or every show.
Usually warmed, relieved, depending on the show, I guess. Just a sense of accomplishment or some sort of sense of like, oh, okay, like managed to kind of to finish that.
It's like I've accomplished something, I faced my fear, and I got to do something I love.
Don't let your soul lose its heart. When we play it through the night and we chase away the dark. Know that someday your dim will turn bright. It's just a bad day.